Welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and talk about the AirPods Pros and see how these bad boys hold up in 2021. Now, what I can tell you is that for sure, these AirPods Pros, I think they're still worth it. There's really not that much to hate on with these specific AirPods, but the main thing to keep in mind, as I've mentioned before in so many other videos, is that the next AirPods Pros could potentially be coming out sooner than later. So it may make a lot of sense for you to go ahead and purchase these AirPods maybe after those things come out, mostly because these things are going to go down in value quite a bit. But I've seen so many deals on these things like crazy. Currently, I think Best Buy has these things for like less than $200. I've seen a lot of sales on Amazon as well. And it's looking like the AirPods 3s could also potentially be looking something like these type of AirPods as well. So another kind of cool thing to keep in mind. Now, as I mentioned, these things came out in 2019, so definitely not yesterday. They came out, almost 2 years ago. But when these things came out, they were quite a big of an improvement, I would say, from the original AirPods and even the AirPods 2s. So these things finally came out with the H1 processor within them, and it was pretty much just like, the second AirPods had them too, but it also added active noise cancellation, transparency mode, and a little bit of water resistance, which was really, really cool as well. And I definitely do think for those things, these AirPods are a solid improvement from those original ones and even AirPods 2s. Now the case is pretty much the same thing as mentioned before with all these other AirPods, that you have the same charging case, they charge within the tips inside of them, and that's primarily it. There's really not that much more going with it. They're pretty modern and they're pretty minimalistic at the same time. I mean, I've been talking about these things for years. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows how they are. Now the AirPods themselves, this is very important because with the AirPods 1s and the 2s, they have the longer stem. They look a little bit different than this. They look the same, but there's a little bit of difference between them. You can see that with these AirPods and the rumored AirPods 3s and the AirPods, Pro 2, whatever they're going to call it, they're going to be using pretty much the same exact design. So that is a very important thing to keep in mind, that even if you still own these original AirPods, the design is still roughly about the same as the next set of AirPods that are coming out. So it's almost like buying an iPhone 10, because that design was recycled year after year, that when you look at an iPhone 10 and you look at an iPhone 8 Plus, they came out the same year, the same exact time, but the iPhone 10 looks way more modern. And that is the same thing with these AirPods Pros. Because the new ones look just like these ones, these things are still going to be extremely valuable and they're still going to look exactly the same pretty much as the newer AirPods. Now, these specific AirPods, the Pros, do have those tips instead of actually having, a little bit of a different mechanism. And I think that's kind of a big thing to keep in mind. When you have a set of AirPods like this, you have to either acknowledge that you like those ear tips or you don't. Me personally, I think these are still the only AirPods to have tips, and I am not a fan of these tips at all. I really don't like it. I never liked it. They don't fit in my ear that well. And that's not with these specific headphones. It's pretty much with any type of headphones like these. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do think, it's totally okay. If you like them, then that's perfect. But I also like these because of those type of tips, because you can go ahead and pretty much, if they get dirty over time, you can just go ahead and, replace those ear tips instead of replacing the whole entire AirPods. And I think that is an insanely huge thing to keep in mind. So I think that in and of itself is another huge advantage for these, AirPods. And the fact that they've gone down in value quite a bit is another huge advantage as well. Now, pairing and everything has been another big improvement. With iOS 14 and macOS Big Sur and all these other iPadOS 14 things as well, we've gotten huge improvements when it comes down to the connectability of these AirPods. So connecting these set of AirPods to, let's say, another set or of Apple devices, so an iPhone, macOS, now we have seamless pairing. So if you have your AirPods Pros in your ear and you go ahead and use your MacBook and then you go switch back to your iPhone, it'll dynamically switch from one device to the other straight up, without you having to go ahead and manually switch them from your, Bluetooth settings. And I think that's a really big advantage that we have with these type of things. And as I said before, that is a really cool thing that you have going for these. Is it the end of the world if it doesn't have it? No, but it's a really nice touch. And if you already have a ton of Apple products, this is another really cool advantage of it. Now, I will say, from one thing that I've seen, these AirPods Pros microphones, I'm just not a huge fan of these AirPods mics in general. I think with these next set of AirPods, Apple really has to go all out and fix these microphones. I don't know what it is with my AirPods, maybe it's me or something, but they just don't sound that good. Like, I thought they would sound way better. They sounded way better back in the day. I don't know if there's been like some software thing that changed, but hopefully Apple can fix this, because it's not really looking like these AirPods Pros have really good microphones. I think it's a software problem more than anything else. So that really pretty much covers up everything that's been different with these AirPods Pros. And I'll definitely tell you, these AirPods are still completely worth it. They are solid. There's not really like that many competitors compared to this thing. Like this thing is still pretty much the same thing as it was last time. But as I mentioned before, these AirPods having something like this is going to future proof yourself quite a bit, maybe even more than the AirPods 2s or something. But I think, either or, whether you get these AirPods or the AirPods 2s or even the original AirPods, they are still solid, piece of devices to have in your arsenal of audio equipment. And I think for sure, if you're wanting to, getting these AirPods will probably do you better in the long run. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count. So it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.